Some say that great things come in fours. And in this case, it's the fourth attempt to play Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Well, here's hoping it's great. Give it a shot.
All right, here we go.
You know what? I'm going to stop you right there. That's actually still Guile's theme, but it's the bass line this time. Again, it sounded great, but it's not Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Huh. Well, you know what that means. I believe it was Sigmund Freud who once said, if at first you don't succeed, smash guitars angrily until you do.
Kind of reminds me of what we're doing to this joke.
Yeah.
Is it funny yet?
Was it ever funny?
Drop us a line. Just give us some insight.
In the comments section, of course.
Of course, as always.
Anyway, welcome to episode 19 of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert. I'm Alex.
And I'm Robert.
And today we're going to talk about stuff.
Lots of stuff.
But first, a random, pointless 2-minute or so interlude about sports. Did you see the All-Star Game?
I watched it on my phone, sorta. Followed it on my MLB app.
It's a shame. American League, they got us again.
They are just, overpowered. Is it the designated hitter thing? Is that the reason why they're so good? I can't put my finger on it. They have so much power there.
Well, I mean, obviously, they don't play real baseball, so they have that advantage over us.
Right. But I guess that was, the most home runs ever in an All-Star game last night. There was 10 of them.
Oh, yeah. No, I saw a few of them before I fell asleep.
How was Contreras'? I didn't get to see it.
Oh, did I see his? I don't know.
Well, either way, I'm glad he was on the board there.
Yeah.
But I saw that, and I saw the home run derby. Our boy Kyle Schwarber came in second place with the second most home runs ever hit in a home run derby with 55.
Damn.
That's pretty fucking good. It was a good week. I liked it. Hopefully we'll see the Cubs get a 5-game sweep against the Cardinals this weekend.
Oh, and I've got some bad news.
Uh-oh.
Croatia lost.
Oh, man. It's almost as if, I was going to make a joke, but did you see that?
You just care so little about soccer. You're like, you know what, I'm not even going to bother.
The only glimmer of narrative that I saw in the World Cup that I was like, that's kind of an interesting thing is, I guess the day after Croatia beat England, or the couple days after, they were telling all the press, you guys doubted us. You guys said that we weren't going to win, and you all counted. And I'm like, guys, you have a fucking game to win still. And lo and behold.
It's like you can't do that until you're Michael Jordan, and then you've won 6 championships, and then you can tell everyone to eat shit.
And then you've gone on to play for the White Sox, and then come back and play for the Wizards, and then retire.
No, I was talking about his Hall of Fame speech.
Where
he's just like, yo, all the people who doubted me, eat shit. Fuck you.
I was rooting for them a little bit, and by that I mean I didn't watch the game, and I kind of just looked at it as I was passing a newspaper dispensary. I saw the headline that Croatia lost. That's how I found out. But
yeah,
it would have been cool to see someone different win, I guess.
I didn't get to watch. I just found out via web search.
No, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Well...
So, God damn it.
All right. We're not synchronized enough. What the fuck?
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the news. We've got an update on that director search for the Black Widow movie that is forthcoming from the MCU. Cate Shortland, who you may remember as the director of Berlin Syndrome, starring Teresa Palmer, and the World War II, I think it was, film Lore. She has been selected as the director for Black Widow with a script from Jack Schaefer, who... recently, I think she directed and wrote that film Timer that you showed me the trailer for.
But isn't that 10 years old?
10 years old,
or
but
something.
She's also writing
it's 9 years old, whatever.
She's writing the upcoming female-centric remake of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which jury's out on that. We don't know if that's good. But what do you think about the director choice? I know she was a favorite of ours. You still hot on Cate Shortland choice?
Absolutely, because this was something I was hoping they'd choose, because to me it was the clear best choice of the bunch that they had. And again, I think the director, we say the director kind of doesn't matter with Marvel movies. I think in this case it may matter a little more, because Black Widow is one of those things that could break the mold a little bit, because it's about, the spying and, her shitty life story growing up in that weird boarding school.
Right.
So... and being in the Black Widow program.
Right.
So life is pretty glum for her. So it's maybe we need a director who understands that.
Yeah.
Or can portray that in their movies.
I honestly am not going to offer much here that's different than what you said. I know we both agreed that Cate Shortland was one of the, out of the 70 directors and like the 7 or 8 that we knew were in the short list. I know we both agreed that she was the one that made the most sense to us regarding the subject matter of Black Widow and just all of that. I agree with you. I feel very comfortable with this choice, especially from having seen the trailer for Berlin Syndrome. It's like she could probably do well in this subject matter.
Yeah, I think so. So with that, I'll take us on to our next story. So Birds of Prey team. We've been talking about this one. So again, that's the female team-up movie for the DC universe. According to the Wrap, we've got our team.
Okay, I'm scared.
All right, don't worry. It's not as bad as you think. And if you don't, and for those listening, if you don't give a shit, well, whatever.
Skip ahead. There's timestamps, motherfucker.
Exactly. God. Anyway, so the team consists of Huntress and Black Canary, but no Barbara Gordon any form. However, we do have Cassandra Cain, who is one of the people who becomes Batgirl, plus obviously Harley Quinn. And in closing, we got Renee Montoya, who of course is the cop who works for the Gotham City Police Department. Now, I think it's a little ridiculous that Barbara Gordon's not there, but I give up. It's like, fine, who cares? At least we're getting Huntress and Black Canary. Then on top of that, I think it's pretty clear that with the inclusion of Harley Quinn from the beginning, it's obvious that they're taking some liberties. So they're not making it super faithful, whatever. I don't care. Like, just make a good movie.
Can I be honest with you?
Go ahead.
I've been super skeptical about this movie. We both have been, and especially about hearing stuff about... I didn't like that Barbara Gordon wasn't going to be a part of this. And I'll be honest with you right now. I feel this team. And you know what? I will eat crow. I mean, the movie's not out yet, so I'll take a little capsule of crow, a little crow supplement for the day.
A little crow supplement.
Yeah,
but you're not going to eat the whole thing until it comes out and possibly sucks.
I'll finish it then. But okay, so we got Black Canary and Huntress. We're off to a good start. We got Harley Quinn, which is a little weird, but I'm getting used to that. We got Cassandra Cain, which, you know what, man. Growing up, I was a fan of the idea of her. I liked that she was like, she took on the cowl of Batgirl and like sewed the mouth shut because she was like mute, and she was like the daughter of David Cain, this like badass assassin. I love that character. I love that she's in this, and I like Renee Montoya. I don't know, she's always been like of all the cops in GCPD, she's one of the only ones I know, like beyond like Harvey Bullock. Yeah,
there's Harvey and obviously Commissioner Gordon. And her, basically. Those have always been, like, the three important ones.
I honestly like this team a lot more than I thought it would. I thought it was just going to be like, it's Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy and Black Canary. And it's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's like, this seems like it's possible that it's not completely thrown together.
Yeah, I think I get what they're going for. I
wonder, though, about the villain, because I was hearing murmurs that it could be... Cassandra Cain's dad, what was his name, David Cain?
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried about that because it's kind of like, way to pull a Steppenwolf and choose a fucking villain no one cares about.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not as bad just because I'm such a Batman fucking loser, and I'm like, I know who David Cain is, but like, he doesn't have any powers, or like, he's not Deathstroke, where it's like, this is like the best fucking assassin alive,
He kind of is just like Deathstroke, actually,
but like not as cool. He's like not even Deadshot. Like, and Deadshot is kind of like not as cool Deathstroke in ways.
No, I get what you're saying,
but I'm fine with this. I think it'll be fine. And again, it's just a rumor. Fuck this. This is all kind of a rumor still. I mean, it comes from the Wrap and they're reputable, but they could come out and be like, nope, fuck you.
Yeah.
Here comes fucking, we got fucking Nora Freeze on the fucking goddamn Birds of Prey team, and oh my god.
You're really digging deep on the references. That's Mr. Freeze's wife.
And Mr. Freeze's frozen wife.
For anyone who doesn't know, but probably doesn't care.
Hey, fans of Batman and Robin will know.
But other than that... Oh, that's right. I was going to say, what was it called? The rumor, at least besides David Cain, was, I think the wording was something along the lines of, it's a Batman villain who we haven't seen before.
Okay.
So it could be someone like Black Mask.
Oh,
which would be amazing.
I love Black Mask. He's one of my favorite, like, B, C list Batman villains.
I'd say he started from the C, now he's B.
Yeah, he's still not a household name yet. Yeah, but I'd like him to be.
He started from about the middle, now he's here.
Yes, so to speak.
Yeah. So let's do some annoying clickbait fan casting.
Yes, let's speculate here.
Okay, so for Renee Montoya, I've got deep cut here.
Okay.
I've got Rosalind Sanchez,
All right.
who played the lady cop in Rush Hour 2.
I dig that. I dig that.
Either that or the cliche choice, which of course would be
Michelle Rodriguez.
How can you not?
Guys, come on.
Tough guy or girl.
I mean, fuck, she'd kick my ass.
Yeah. She's a it's almost like Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. It's like that's like too easy.
Right.
That's too cliched.
Right.
And then we got who we got for Black Canary. My obvious choice, again, huge cliche. Mm-hmm. It's been all over the internet already. Catherine Winnick from Vikings.
She could kick ass, and that honestly would be my second choice, or maybe my first if you hadn't picked it. But mine is Natalie Dormer.
Okay.
Just because she also is no stranger to action and no stranger to movies like this, darker subject matter, and she looks the part, I'd say, for Black Canary.
Right. And then for Cassandra Cain, I went with, what's her name? The girl from the, god damn it, what's it called? The robot movie, Pacific Rim.
Oh, Rinko Kikuchi?
Rinko Kikuchi or Ellen Wong, who's just on stuff. Or, no, sorry, she's on...
she's Knives Chow.
Knives Chow from Scott Pilgrim, so I could see that.
She was also my choice for Cassandra Cain. But I'd also like to say maybe even cast a no-name for that, because her speaking role is very limited. Maybe even cast, dare I say it, a stunt person?
Oh, God. That'd be the end of the world.
Careful now.
oh, I don't like that.
Right.
Giving stunt people, spotlight or credit of any kind. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Oh, man. That would be a problem.
Not allowed. Yeah.
Who do you got for Huntress?
Well, see, this is an interesting choice. This is actually I think this could be a clickbait article.
What's that?
I think it could be a really good one, though.
Okay.
Olivia Cooke.
You know what? I'm there with you.
She was one of the main co-leads, would you say?
Thoroughbreds?
Well, she was a co-lead in that for sure.
You're talking about Ready Player One?
Ready Player One. So she's done some action, and she's shown that she could play sort of like people who've had like fucked up lives and stuff.
Yeah, have shit going on with them.
She has that. She can play that dark side like she did in Thoroughbreds. Mm-hmm. Friends, neighbors at home, if you haven't seen Thoroughbreds, check that out if it ever comes out on the TV or the interwebs.
On a rainy day, it'll suit the mood.
Yeah, on a rainy day. Actually, maybe don't.
It'll probably make things worse.
Yeah, it'll just make your rainy day worse. So watch it on a nice sunny day. Go for a walk after. It's not happy, but it's good.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, but Olivia Cooke, I think she's got the chops for the tormented kind of personality that... Or what's it called?
The brooding soul, sort of in ways.
Sort of the brooding elements as well as the action elements.
Right. I'm in agreement with you on that. I think Olivia Cooke. She's not
Cook.
a kook. Cook. It's that E on the end that just like freaks me out.
Yeah.
Fucking British, man. No, Olivia Cooke would be great. I think she's a fantastic actress. She's on the up and up, and I'd love to see her be a part of this.
All right, so that does it for that story.
All right, moving on now, Alex. We've got a sequel coming out, a sequel to a movie that's 10 years old this year, next year. Zombieland 2. It's happening. We got the cast back. We've got Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, Abigail Breslin, Woody Harrelson. We've got the writers back, Paul Wernick and fucking Rhett Reese, and the director's back. Everybody's back. How do you feel about this? Are you worried?
This is a little bit of one of those things maybe you should have struck when the iron was a little hotter. Mm-hmm. However, the idea that a sequel to this being good is not impossible, especially since everyone's back. Mm-hmm. And, again, we do forget this is very notable. as it is one of the only zombie anythings that I think is any good. I think most zombie everything sucks. This is one notable exception.
Yeah, it's weird how we talk about, hey, they're redoing this movie or they're doing a sequel to this fucking thing that came out a decade and a half ago, and it usually always irks us. I don't know why this doesn't. Maybe it's just because I've always wanted a Zombieland sequel and they never really ended up delivering one. They did end up giving us a something Zombieland related, which was that shitty Amazon pilot that didn't get upped for anything, not even a second episode or a full season.
Right.
And that just failed. But, the two writers I get why we haven't made one yet. The two writers have been doing other stuff. They were writing Deadpool. They were writing other movies. I'm excited for this. There's not really anything about this that worries me except for the director, but I feel like the script will be fine, so whatever.
I'm going to say I'm cautiously optimistic because of all, again, to your point, of all the sequels, this one annoys me a lot. Or actually, this doesn't really annoy me at all. It's like, you know what? Fine. If you want to make another one, go for it. Mm-hmm. So that's that.
What's next?
Up next, we've got some news on the Metal Gear Solid movie, which I totally forgot was coming. The director claims that the script is done. The director, of course, his name is John Vogt Roberts. I don't know him. Should I know him?
It's Jordan Vogt Roberts.
Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry.
He's the guy that did Kong.
Jordan Vogt Roberts.
He did Kong Skull Island.
Oh.
Yeah. And he did he did this other movie called Kings of Summer, indie flick.
Yeah. So, I guess it's weird I forgot this was being made, but I'll say this. Tomb Raider, as I had mentioned in a review before, I thought it was a step in the right direction for video game movies. Mm-hmm. Hopefully this builds off of that momentum. I don't know. I think this has a chance to be good just because, Metal Gear Solid's stories are pretty crazy and pretty... I don't know. They're intricate. Mm-hmm. So why don't you tell me what you think about this? Since I don't know jack shit about Metal Gear Solid.
Well,
really,
it's interesting you bring up the story because I know people when they bring up, hey, what should be the video game movie to bridge the gap between the video game and the general audience of movies, and some people say Metal Gear. Metal Gear is very cinematic. The Metal Gear Solid games are, but the stories are very weird and they're very Eastern in their sensibilities, and by that I mean if you've ever watched an anime, you know that there will be a scene in any anime you watch where either the plot gets super convoluted for not no reason, but just out of nowhere, or like characters will the whole episode will be like a character giving exposition.
Okay, I actually have a perfect example of this. Mm-hmm. There's this game that I played when I was a kid. It was my favorite video game when I was about 12, called The Bouncer. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've ever heard of this game. It was a PlayStation 2 game, and it wasn't super popular, but holy shit, did this have the most intricate and also sort of convoluted, yet also sort of straightforward story.
Yeah.
It was nuts. This was one of the most detailed stories of any media, any piece of media that I've come across. And the weird thing is, you play as three characters, and it's one of those things where if you choose a certain character, the story goes a certain path. Mm-hmm. There's all this subtext, man. It's always like, "Don't you remember from 5 years ago?" And it's like, fuck. They must remember something. I don't know what.
It's weird. And it's not to say that like Eastern storytelling is bad. It's just different from Western storytelling. And like what Western critics would say is bad is like, oh, you're telling us the whole story. You're giving us exposition. It's like that happens a lot in like games like Metal Gear Solid or like a lot of animes, like Dragon Ball. How many episodes are just characters staring at each other with internal monologues going? How anti-Hollywood is that idea? So I'm wondering how they're going to transfer certain themes and motifs from like Eastern storytelling into the Western dynamic,
Do you just mean Japanese?
Well, because it's Chinese too. It's like, and Korean. I'd say it's mostly Japanese, I'd say.
Okay, I kind of agree with you without spoiling. There's an awful lot of, but it's at the end, so it's kind of, expected. Have you ever seen Old Boy?
Oh, yeah.
The ending is a ton of exposition.
Yeah.
It explained, but I think it's fair. It explains everything because you're like, what the hell is going on?
And it works. Like a lot of these Metal Gear game stories, they're like a Swiss watch. You know, you like open it up and you look at all the fucking parts going on. And you're like, what the fuck is this? And like someone asks you like, well, how does it work? And you're like, I don't fucking know. I just check the times, you know, and that's kind of what Metal Gear is. You just play them and the story is good, but it's super convoluted and I couldn't fucking explain it to you if I tried.
So it sounds like that could be a bad time for the people who just wrote this finished script.
You know what? I hope they just stick to the basics of what if they're doing the first Metal Gear Solid. It's just about a guy trying to bring down some terrorists in a military base.
See, that's kind of what I figured is what I meant by it's convoluted, but also pretty straightforward. It's like how we get to these bases and what's in these bases and all
this
that.
This person's a clone of this person and this person. It's like, what the fuck is this?
But it's like, at the end of the day, just be like, I'm Snake.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, hang upside down from vents with some silenced pistols and doof, doof.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
And I'm hoping this ends up pretty good. If Kong Skull Island did anything, it proved to me that Jordan Vogt-Roberts is capable of directing action.
Yeah, not so much in the story department, but that might not be his fault.
It probably isn't. I mean, I don't think he wrote that. And that was a script that was like noticeably hacked up by rewrites because they wanted to make it they wanted to make it talk or what's it called fit into the Godzilla verse and all that shit, so it got hacked to shit.
That makes sense. I mean, I thought it was all right. I was just, I don't know, I just really didn't like the story. I thought it was kind of boring. Anyway, so that does it for Metal Gear Solid. Would you like to take us away to our next piece of news?
Alex, they're bringing Rugrats back.
Yeah.
They're bringing it back. Gaber, is it Shupo? Is that how you pronounce it? Jupo?
I don't know.
Klasky Jupo, I think.
Klasky Jupo, I think.
They're reviving the series, the animated series, but that's not all. We're getting a live action Rugrats film also.
Ew. Why?
I don't know.
That's going to be so bad. That's going to be like the Smurfs live action hybrids with Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the benchmark of quality for those movies lately. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why they're doing that. As for bringing back Rugrats, I'm a little baffled by this because rebooting certain cartoon series, I think it's sort of like rebooting the mega classic movies. Mm-hmm. Like we all saw how well the Psycho remake went. Yeah. And like, you'd be crazy to try and reboot Godfather, for instance.
Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like because the voice actors in animation are such a large part of it, it's just dumb to do it again.
Right.
I get that there's some where, like, Disney characters are just going to be done. They're just going to be done over and over. I get that. There's always going to be, like, your Draculas, your Batmans, your Godzillas. Like, there's going to be properties that are just going to be done over and over. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, DuckTales, I get it. Like, they're going to do that because the show's about really the adventure more than is the characters. And there's just some, though, I just don't get. Like, for instance, what was it? The Powerpuff Girls remake. Saw some of that. It was terrible.
Not great.
And a number of the Ninja Turtles ones have been not... I think they've gotten progressively worse as they've went on. Mm-hmm. Not that they're all terrible, but it just kind of feels pointless. We have the original.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
I agree with you. It feels like an attempt. It feels like those kids who grew up with this show are older now, and nostalgia's in. Yeah. Let's cash in. I get that.
And also, I don't get that for its intended audience. Mm-hmm. Hey, kids, remember that show that came out when you weren't born yet? No.
I saw.
Yeah, exactly. So now we're gonna redo it.
Yeah, I saw the press release.
It's just lazy.
They said Paramount, the president of Paramount Players said, now feels like the ideal time to reintroduce the iconic cast of characters to a whole new generation of young fans.
Why?
I don't know. It's a good show. I mean, but why not just re-air the show?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be a lot?
You know, like
wow, you just nailed it right on the head.
I get that it's like the animation from that era is like it's not as crisp. You know, it's objectively not as.
I was gonna say though that if you watch the intro closely, that's really, really good animation. The way it utilizes angles.
Yeah.
That's insanity. That's from
it's
early '90s.
Oh yeah, it's real good for the era, but I think even then it's like it shows. You know, if I were to show that to like my 6-year-old cousin, she'd be like, "This looks old," you know, and that sucks. But I get it. I get why they're like, "Hey, we want the Rugrats is such a cool property," you know. Parentheses, it's so cool we haven't cared about it for 20 years. Let's reintroduce it to new fans. And like I get the sentiment. It does feel a little bit hokey to me and a little bit.
We've got to have it for the new generation.
Right.
So when the dad, Stu Pickles, it's like, check it out, Dee Dee. I made this new toy, but you got to use loot crates to make it cooler.
Right.
And then she's like, that's great, Stu. Have you seen my vape pen?
Right.
It's like, we need the douchebaggy millennial version of everything?
The kids watching this and be like, that's just like my mommy and daddy. And I'm going to be like, it's so sad.
Ugh.
But as far as the film goes, I guess what they mean by live action is it's going to be CGI. So sort of not really. Like, is it going to be Alvin and the Chipmunks? Like, live action meets CGI? Like, the fuck? What?
Are they just going to make the babies look like cartoon people and just not fit in with the normal people?
Oh, no.
Like, imagine they look like how they do on the old show, but they're just CGI, but with real people, so they just look deformed.
Yeesh. Well, the movie is going to be written by one David Goodman. He's an animation veteran who worked on Family Guy, Futurama.
Okay, great.
So, I don't know. I mean, there's your indication as to what's being moved forward on that project, but we are getting Rugrats more and more and more.
So, moving on, we've got the Aquaman stuff came out. There's a poster. Aquaman. There's a big poster, and it shows everyone. Yeah. It shows us our villains, Ocean Master, was Orm, whatever the hell his name is, Black Manta. It shows some of the other Atlantean armies. And it looks like this is quite a production.
I'm hoping this movie is as good as my weird brain is kind of just hoping it is. Or like expecting it to be, rather.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about this. Like the solo movies for DCEU flicks, past or like post. Actually, not even post. All the solo flicks have been good.
Yeah.
Man of Steel, which we'll get to later. Wonder Woman, Aquaman. I feel like could be another one of those, and so is Shazam, which we've also talked about.
Right.
But yeah, I think this could be good.
Yeah. Also, speaking of it being quite a production, Jason Momoa apparently had some sort of big claim, or I don't know. I think he might have been one of those context quote things. Who gives a shit? Somebody printed it. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
That there's claims made that it's going to be like Star Wars underwater. That's a lot to live up to. Those are some bold words.
Well, somebody's got to be the hype man for this picture.
But again, remember, if it sucks,
he's fucked.
No, but they could go back on those words and be like, well, I didn't say which Star Wars.
Yeah, I meant Star Wars the Christmas special.
Yeah, I meant Star Wars the Ewoks Adventure cartoon.
Oh, yeesh.
Or whatever the hell it was called. Anyway, that's just that's a lot to claim.
Yeah, and there's probably going to be more and more hype thrown out at Comic-Con this weekend.
That's the thing, is there's a lot of things we're waiting on getting more concrete information on, and I think we're going to get a lot of answers, hopefully. Actually, by the time this comes out, it will be on day 2.
Do you think we'll get any casting news about future projects?
Possibly, I would say, but part of me says no. I don't know. There's a good chance we'll find out. We're going to find out some information, though.
We're definitely getting trailers. We're going to be getting Aquaman trailer and probably, definitely Shazam trailer, I know for sure.
Yeah, we're getting some trailers, and I think, of course, with those trailers, we'll be getting some answers of some kind. But until now, we're just going to have to wait until next time, folks. We'll let you know.
All right, so moving on to our next story. We have a new horror movie coming from James Wan and Jason Blum. They are partnering on the robot horror movie Megan, and that, for you friends playing at home, it's Megan with a 3. So M3 GAN.
M3 GAN.
M3 GAN is centered on a toy company roboticist who develops a lifelike doll programmed to emotionally bond with her newly orphaned niece, only to see the doll become overprotective. Now, Alex, aside from a missing reference towards Stranger Things or the 80s, does this project sound familiar to you?
Gee, that's weird. It's like we have 3 Chucky movies, essentially. You know what, though? I hope that this comes out the same weekend as the MGM Child's Play reboot. And I hope, for whatever reason, that people just love this M3 GAN movie. They're like, holy crap, you have to see M3 GAN. It is the greatest. Like, I want all the dumb, exaggerated, comparisons. Like, this is the best thing since,
This is the best movie with a number in its title in the middle of a word since Scriphorum.
Yeah, Scriphorum. This is the best piece of art since the Sistine Chapel.
Right.
I want all those bogus things. And I want this to make 500 million, worldwide opening weekend.
What you say, domestic?
Yeah.
500
the hell
million
with it.
domestic.
Domestic. And then I want the Chucky remake, that MGM. It does so bad that theaters start paying people to see it.
It does like United Passions, or like it was a movie United Passions or I don't know, the FIFA movie that sucked ass and no one saw. Made like $15.
Yes.
Wanted to do that bad.
Exactly. So I want to do that, and it's like that'll teach you. And then meanwhile, Chucky can exist on its own in the TV series because it's not competing with either movie.
That would be ideal.
That'd be perfectly ideal.
I guess how do you feel about this project just, I guess, on its own, if it can exist on its own?
You know what? This goes back to my thing. Mm-hmm. People out there, Hollywood, this is the way to do things. Don't keep rebooting things. Just make derivative rip-offs. Because then they can be, it's different enough where, it can stand on its own. And, of course, you can compare it to something and you can use it as a selling point. Perfect example. Happy Death Day. Mm-hmm. Duh. It's just Groundhog Day, but with a slasher formula.
Right.
It's perfect. So this is just like, it's like Chucky, except it's about technology and Skynet, man.
Cyberdyne Industries.
Cyberdyne Industries, yeah.
Miles Tenet Dyson.
I actually didn't know that part, though, about the doll becoming protective. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that is a good twist, because it's kind of like, I love you, Dolly. I love you, too. I do anything for you. Like, blank, huge, expressionless look.
Red eyes. Yeah.
I do anything.
Yeah. Holy shit.
The voice just changes. Like, Hail Satan. What was that, Dolly? Anything. I'll fucking kill for you.
Yeah, I think this could be fun. It could be a fun little horror movie.
Yeah.
Still waiting on my Teddy Ruxpin horror movie, though.
How is this not your Teddy? How is this not a Teddy Ruxpin horror movie?
Give it the damn Teddy Ruxpin face, and we'll talk. Oh, my word. Get out. Get out right now.
Teddy Ruxpin. Well, I'm pretty sure. Wait, that thing come out right before Chucky or right after?
It was probably amidst that era.
I think that because I'm pretty sure that had something to do with the
scare.
No
scare factor of that movie.
Well, I can't remember if that either inspired Don Mancini to write it, or if it made that thing's sales plummet. I can't remember. It's the latter or the former. It's one of the two. But anyway. So that's happening, and I hope that all the ridiculous events that we mentioned happen along with its release.
Right.
Would you like to move us along to the next story?
I sure would. So, Alex, you can rest easy. Venom is not a part of Marvel and Sony's Spider-Man movie deal.
This feels like the Maury Show. Venom is not part of the MCU. I told you!
Oh, my God. Yeah, I guess there was a quote from Entertainment Weekly. Tom Hardy said pretty much definitively, this is not a part of the MCU. It's his own thing. Do you believe it?
You know what? No, maybe I don't. I'm just still like, because they say that, rest assured, everyone, this thing that you didn't want to happen, it's happening. So it's like, now we can breathe easy. But I feel like they don't want it to be simple. Mm-hmm. Because we kept thinking, the way movie rights work. It's like, oh, no, this character, he's with this company. But then there's all this other, you read the fine print sort of bullshit. Well, no, actually, under these circumstances, on the fourth lunar new year, or whatever bullshit, when the tides come in on every Thursday,
right,
this character can be lent in this fashion. But only at dusk may the contract be signed.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
how to feel about it either.
Well, it's kind of like, it seems like the way it's going to work, if they're really going through with this and they really mean it, and this is if they really mean it, is that Venom is essentially going to be the Spider-Man of this universe. That's the only way I see this going down, really.
That would be cool, especially if they are planning, like, I guess was rumored. I don't know. I can't keep track of all of them. The Maximum Carnage movie, whatever.
Yeah.
That they're planning on making, but I don't know. Alex, didn't you hear the quote, though? Listen to what Tom Hardy says. Venom is the first of Sony's new films based on characters from the Spider-Man comics, etc., etc. Although it's a separate world from last year's Spider-Man Homecoming, etc., etc. It's also not part of the deal between Sony and Disney. Come on, man.
I think it's all a ruse. You know what? It could be.
What are the chances we're getting closed camera TV footage of that couple in Canada?
But hold on. Yeah, exactly.
Robbing them.
As we keep saying, it's going to be that. Or, you know what's going to happen? All of a sudden, Andrew Garfield swings in, winks and nods at the camera and says, but we didn't say this Spider-Man couldn't be back, huh?
Yeah, and he's like not wearing pants.
What?
Just like a big fuck you to the audience. Just be like, what the fuck is this? What did I just watch?
He's got a really like big beard.
Yeah,
hasn't been shaven.
Yeah, no, it's fucking Michael Moore in a Spider-Man costume for some reason. What the fuck is this movie that we just wrote?
This needs to stop.
Oh man, October 5th. That's when we're gonna find out.
Yep. So that does it. Oh no, we got one more news story.
Oh, a little morsel of news.
So we had the Hellfest trailer come out, and it's about this amusement park, but the kills are real. And there's been a few of these, and I usually end up liking them. So I'm probably going to end up liking this one too. I watched, it was a long trailer, you know, it was 2:49. I watched about 1:30. I'm like, I'm in.
From the director of Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, does that worry you?
No, because the movie looks good.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to overlook that.
It looks a lot better than that, for sure. You a big haunted house fan?
Haunted house.
Do you go to like the Statesville, like the hardcore, like method acting haunted houses? Or do you just like...
I haven't been to one in a long time. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'll go this October.
This reminds me of one of those, like, the trailer kind of conjured up a lot of the feelings that one would have going through one of those haunted houses. Not just, the kiddie ones where it's like, oh, there's a ghost, someone put up a fucking coat rack and put a sheet over it. No, like the ones with actors.
Well, that was the thing. They did this sort of like Borat-style movie called, what was it? The Houses That October Built.
Okay.
So it was, I think they got footage by going to actual haunted houses. But the acting is kind of bad in spots, so you know that, like the parts where they're hanging out in the trailer, because they're in a Winnebago cross-countrying.
Right.
So you figure, okay, so that's all character stuff. But I think the footage they got, as I said, was in haunted houses. Either way, this is looking pretty rad. I'm looking forward to it.
Give me some Tony Todd.
Yeah, oh yeah. Let's not short side. Tony Todd is in this.
Yeah, man, Candyman himself.
The Candyman himself, you're right. We got some Tony Todd, some Halloween-themed haunted house is real style horror.
Right.
I don't really see how you can go wrong with this. And that is the rest of the story. But seriously, that does it for news. Anyway, moving along, we're going to do a second edition of Torches and Pitchforks. And this time we're going to do it a little differently. We're just going to talk about one thing. And that one thing is Man of Steel. And of course, being that this segment is called Torches and Pitchforks, of course, we're going to talk about an unpopular opinion to hold. And that unpopular opinion, of course, is that Man of Steel is an excellent movie.
So, Alex, before we begin talking about this particular film, what's your relationship with the fictional character of Superman himself in any kind of media?
That's the thing, is he's the most ubiquitous superhero that's ever existed. There is some, I don't know if this is bullshit or not, but there's all these articles. Do you know it's the third most recognizable symbol behind the Star of David
and the crucifix or whatever?
Yeah, and the cross and all that. It's like the fact that you could say that and people, if it is true, yeah, that proves a point. Mm-hmm. But even if it's not true, the fact that you could say that and people would believe it, I think that says enough. The fact is he's everywhere. You know, there was the, what was it called? Lois and Clark.
Oh, yeah.
There was that. So you had him in live action. Before that, you had the Christopher Reeves. Before that, you had the 50s one. He guest starred on Lucy.
Yeah, he did.
That's what I mean. He's everywhere. He's even on Lucy. I mean, I don't know what the hell else I need to say. And, of course, read the comics, watched the cartoons.
I wasn't as big of a fan of Superman. I was always a Batman kid. I was like the darker side of DC. But for me, the take of Superman that I always loved and that I still say is probably the best one is from the Bruce Timm Paul Dini show and like from Justice League. I love that Supes the most. And I remember growing up watching the what's his name? The guy Richard Donner Superman movies with Christopher Reeve, and not really being a big fan of them.
I'm not really a big fan of those. And that's kind of that, you know what, that's a good jumping off point. So we've established whatever. You like Batman, who gives a shit. I like Batman too. It doesn't matter. We're talking about Superman.
Yes.
We're talking about Superman, man. Anyway, so let's jump off right there.
The Donner films.
They're boring.
Yes.
They're like pretty boring. And I get that, you know, I respect what they're trying to do, but the attempt does not always equal the satisfaction of watching. It's like, I get what you're trying to do, and I appreciate them for that, but if I'm judging them as movies, they're just boring. And so that'll bring me to my first point about why Man of Steel is great. So after many attempts, including the one that came out only a few years before it, in Superman Returns, Superman finally throws a punch.
Yes.
In fact, he throws many punches.
And he does more than just that.
At several adversaries.
Yes.
It's like, finally, this is what Superman should be. It's an action movie. It's not some weird thing about... I don't even know what the hell the first one is.
Yeah, I remember... Well, when I watched it when I was a kid, I just remember saying to myself, like, this looks really old. You know, like, the effects are... They don't hold up well. Like, they don't look great.
I don't give a shit about that. I'm not talking about the effects. Well, I mean, that's part of it. But what I'm saying is, I'm like, Superman, and I've kind of always had this problem with Superman. It's like, I just want to see him kick someone's ass.
Yeah, and that's
like,
that's why I didn't like
strong. Yeah,
that's why I didn't like the first one. Is because he's Lex Luthor's the villain, so he's like, he doesn't fight anybody. He just like saves people, which is cool, and that's fine.
They could have done something. It's just like get out your thinking caps.
Yeah,
like, let's make this a movie. It's like, oh, why doesn't Luthor get in some weird suit? Yeah, there we go. Now he can fight Superman. Just something. Or, oh, he's super smart, right? So he hires these other super goons to fight him. Something.
Right.
Give us something to fucking work with.
And that's why I thought Returns was even more of a serious offender because, like, we have the technology now to, like, stage a Superman fight. And there are even a couple scenes there where, like, the scene with the minigun where, like, the dude's shooting at Superman and he shoots Superman in the eye. And then, like, we cut away from, like, Superman smiling. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? Did Superman, like, blow him away or, like, punch him or what? Like, come on. I want to see Superman in action here.
That's what I've always had this problem when... And this is a fiction thing. When you got super strong people, it's like, think of them like a silverback gorilla. Mm-hmm. It's like, it'd be really boring to watch a silverback gorilla fight a person because it would kill the person immediately. Mm-hmm. But if you get another silverback gorilla, again, okay, this is weird. Maybe I should be condoning animal cockfighting, but I'm saying like...
You see them doing a territorial fight or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, this is, you know...
There's conflict here.
There's definitely more conflict for that gorilla.
I agree.
So Superman, it's like, get other super people for him to fight. And they did that in the original Superman 2. And again, they're sort of limited in what they could do. But that's why I think Superman 2 of the Donner movies is way better. So actually, I kind of take back what I said about all of them being boring. But it's like, come on. Like, let's make this interesting.
But, like, to be fair, even, like, the technology is, for me, for Man of Steel, what makes this movie. Because even the fights in Superman 2, compared to, like, you know, fucking Superman punching Zod through a grain silo. Yeah. It looks like fucking dog shit. Like, it looks horrible. Like, I'm not gonna
Superman 2.
And I can appreciate it for being historically like, okay, this is one of the first superhero movies. Like, we got to ease into this, of course. The technology's budding. Yeah. But, like, I'm not gonna lie to myself and be like, oh, it looks good, right? It's like, no, it doesn't look very good. It doesn't age well. But I respect it. I do respect it. And I like Christopher Reeve. But I wanted to see a movie where Superman finally threw down with somebody of his like.
That's and they did that. And I get that Superman, unlike a lot of other heroes, a lot of his focus is about saving rather than fighting. Mm-hmm. I get that that's part of his thing. But call me a fight fan, if you will. But it's just like, I just want to see some ass beatings dealt out. Because it's like, at the end of the day, what genre is a superhero movie really? It's action.
It's an action movie, yeah.
And it's like, go sci-fi. What are most sci-fis? Action. Mm-hmm. So it's like, give us a legitimate action movie in the ilk of, you know, I guess this is going to sound kind of crazy, but like, make Commando, but about superheroes. And what I mean about that is that Commando is, well, it's got exaggerated circumstances, a hero that is just does some crazy shit, and some good fight scenes. Yeah. And it's like, you can have Superman saving people and showing that he's good, as well as punching people. Yes. Like, is that so much to ask for? Yes. And that brings me to my next major point about this movie. One of the most seemingly idiotic complaints that I heard about Man of Steel was, there's too much destruction in the end. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's too much destruction in this movie about superhuman people who can just smash through buildings. Right. What are you expecting them to do? It's like, this pornography film has too much fornication. Yeah. That's about the level of idiocy in that statement. Or I guess short-sightedness. Mm-hmm. Like, I get it. Sometimes you don't want to have a movie that's just nothing but action. Well, actually, maybe you do.
For sure. I mean, Mad Max Fury Road was that, and that kind of worked.
It had basically no plot, and it was awesome. Right. Okay, I get it, though. People want a story. That's great. And this had enough of a story.
I think it had a lot of story.
Yeah, it had a good amount of story. And then people complain about too much action in this action movie. Can you imagine a review? Too action-packed. Yeah. Instead of, because people usually say, it's action-packed.
Yeah. Too exciting.
It'll have you on the edge of your seat. And frankly, I don't like that.
I mean, I get the audience's problem with it, where it's like, oh, Superman's punching Zod through a building. Like, that's not cool. Like, wouldn't Superman, like, try to, like, not do that? And, like, I get that. But, like, assuming that, like, people are getting hurt is, like, it's a bit of a leap on you as an audience member to assume. Because we don't ever, like, hear, like, oh, 10 million people die. Like, we don't hear shit like that. Like, and they specifically not, they don't tell you that because it's not really integral to this story. I mean, it becomes integral to Batman v Superman, but obviously there are also things in there like Superman, for the most part, kind of tries to divert the action or divert the violence, and Zod kind of seems to be the one that wants to inflict violence on buildings and shit.
Right. It's like he can only do so much to stop him.
Right. This is his first outing.
Right. And on top of that, it's like, if you really want to be that nitpicky, I don't get why people chose this movie for that. It's like, fine, then you should have a problem with basically every action movie. It's like, when Rambo's shooting, he should watch where he's shooting. There could have been friendly fire. Right. Like, exactly. He didn't know who was living in that hut he exploded or like some shit like that.
Yeah. Another point, bringing it into like Superman himself, one of the things about, I hate ragging on the Richard Donner films, but like one of the things that I really as a kid struggled with was identifying with Christopher Reeve's Superman. Like, and I get you're not supposed to. He's supposed to be this ideal, he's supposed to be this superhero. Lois, you shouldn't smoke, and like that was cool and all, but I didn't like that interpretation of Superman. I liked the idea that like he is a fucking guy, like, and he has to go home, and he has to like deal with the fact that like he could beat the shit out of anybody, like kill anybody, like he could flick somebody into space, like that idea I thought was hammered home really well in this. And I thought Henry Cavill, and specifically the interpretation of the character of Superman, I'd never really seen that in a movie before,
Right.
And I loved it. I loved seeing him deal with like, oh my God, what do I do with all this power? Like, do I save people? Do I fucking hide it? Seeing Pa Kent like try and like reason with Superman, like, dude, they're gonna fucking kill you. Like, if you come out, like, and seeing the Jor-El struggle,
they'd try.
Well, yeah, and they would succeed.
Hey, that's another point. That beginning was so awesome.
Oh yeah, the Krypton stuff.
The whole Krypton thing was so great, and I think that's how a great movie should be. A lot of times, is each scene could feel like almost like its own movie, or each larger set piece.
Right.
And I definitely got that vibe there. The whole Krypton setup of all the depictions of that, I don't think I've ever seen as good of one as in Man of Steel.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, for better or for worse, even though the show looks shitty, I guarantee you that had a large part in why there is the
sci-fi
Krypton show. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of good ideas in this, and I think that even people who dislike the movie agree. Like seeing the scene of like Jor-El like struggling to save his planet and all that shit, and like seeing the scene of Superman trying to decide whether or not to use his powers or save his own dad. Like that scene really got me. I'm like, damn, this is like, fuck, this is good shit. Because I'd never really seen, like the comics version of that is like, well, Pa Kent dies of a heart attack. It's the one thing Superman can't prevent.
Yeah.
But like that's even more fucked up. It's like there's all these people watching, but like Pa Kent doesn't want him to fucking save him because he wants his son to be okay. And I'm like, damn, this is some deep shit in the Superman action movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he wants him to be, normal, for lack of a better term.
Right.
He doesn't, even if he can kick everyone's ass, it's like he doesn't want him to feel like the weight of the world is on his shoulders. And of course, spoilers, it's time to talk about some of the ending stuff.
Some neck snappery?
Yeah, some neck snappery. So, okay, I'll slightly level with people on this. Maybe that wasn't the best way to do it.
Right.
But in its defense, it was supposed to be one of those scenarios. So he's like, you know what? Maybe he started to realize mid-battle, this isn't really working out. I'm getting mad. Again, he's human, for lack of a better term. Superman's mad, especially when they go after Ma Kent.
Yes.
He takes on the other Kryptonian bad guys.
Right.
Like Feora and the big dude.
Yeah.
So he's starting to realize, oh shit, this is what Pa Kent was getting me all worried about. I can't, lose my sight.
Exactly.
Of what's important. So he's like, well, there's innocent people here. The Zod guy is an asshole. I don't see any way out of this. It seems like he's so hell bent on getting the last laugh,
right?
Even though the machines have been stopped, which by the way was also really cool.
Oh, the
big machines,
terraforming things.
Yeah, the terraforming machines,
the world engines.
Yeah, when he took them down, that was great stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is a science fiction action movie that Superman should be. Gigantic machines. You've got Superman flying around. He's got to take them down.
Yeah.
Got some cool stuff. And honestly, I think I told you about this. They literally read my mind. Because I thought to myself, man, this movie is awesome. You know what I could use, though? Just one more. And then Zod's like, rah! like mid-thought. It's just like, just one more, boom, hits him. And then they start fighting. I'm like, yes! I'm like, one more pointless battle. That's the other thing. Everyone who hates, even if the battle is pointless, then don't like Lethal Weapon. Why on earth does there need to be a last scene in Lethal Weapon? The guy's literally surrounded by the cops. And it's raining. It's like, I don't think this guy's going to get very far.
Right.
Like, he probably doesn't have good visibility. You know, it's dark out.
The logistics of it.
Yeah, I'm talking.
Yeah.
He's probably tired.
He's probably exhausted.
Probably exhausted.
Yeah.
But Riggs is like, no. Let me at him. And he's like, but that's a character moment. Riggs is like, I don't just want to win. I want to win definitively.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to win in a savage, hand-to-hand combat fight in the rain for no reason, absolutely at all. But that was great. Yeah. Sometimes I'll see a movie and I'll think of scenes like that. I'm like, well, that was pointless. But I think of it after the fact. I'm like, but did it really detract from the movie? No.
It kind of adds to Zod's character in that he's like, fuck it, I lost. I might as well make you lose. You know?
It's like, I'm going to drag you down to my level.
Exactly.
Or I'm not leaving empty-handed. Mm-hmm. So that's why that fight happens. That's my excuse for why it's not completely, not a completely pointless add-on.
Right.
And first of all, or secondly, that fight is amazing.
Yes. It's real fun.
It doesn't get much better than that. You were talking about the idea of, even if it's all CGI shots in certain parts, there is choreography involved.
Exactly.
Just like there's choreography in like a
car chase.
Yeah, a car chase, or even in animation.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of Family Guy's fight scenes are good. Like they're
chicken
good
fights.
They're good choreography,
right?
Because the idea doesn't mean it's choreographed just because there's actual stunt work. Mm-hmm. There's still the idea behind. You have to have the movements planned out, how it's going to work.
Well, that's a whole other thing too. Is I would say the technical aspects of this movie are real solid.
Right.
Specifically, the look and sound of it. I love the score for this fucking movie, and I'm a self-fucking-proclaimed
Hans Zimmer fanboy.
Hans Zimmer file. God damn it,
we all are.
Oh yeah, at heart we all are. But man, I really loved. I mean, nothing's gonna beat the John Williams Superman theme, of course.
Yeah.
But I really loved the Hans Zimmer sound of this. You know, he really incorporated. I mean, there's like guitars in it and stuff. Like he really wanted this. I was reading up like he wanted the Superman score to sound like really American. Like there was a lot of guitars and like drums and stuff.
Yeah,
it's really cool. And a lot of people didn't like the look of this movie. They're like, this is a dark movie,
yeah, it's
and I'm
too
like,
gray.
But we've seen the colorful Superman movies before. You know, like the Donner films are real colorful.
See, that's the other thing is people like Superman because he's so popular. Mm-hmm. He's also, and because he's been so everywhere. Mm-hmm. He's also kind of a target of some criticism. He's a Mary Sue. He's boring. Mm-hmm. He's like his only weakness is kryptonite. Like blah blah. He's too perfect. And it's like, all right, you want an imperfect Superman? Ask and you shall receive. Time to knock over buildings and maybe snap a neck or two.
Right.
So back to that real quick though. So he's like, shit, I've got to stop this guy. I'm not going to be happy with this, but here goes, crack. And on top of that, did he look like he was all that pleased about that?
Not quite.
No. So Zod still kind of won in a weird way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Superman did what he had to, and that's the thing. Superman, there was a whole theme about making choices.
Yeah.
He had to make a tough one.
Yeah, a lot of the movie is Superman making tough choices.
And who knows? He probably should have chosen some better choices on how not to get into that situation with Zod. But lo and behold, he was there. He had to do something.
There he was. Union Station in Chicago.
Union Station, and with children watching. And it's just like, watch this. It's not like he's like, hey, kids, watch this.
Watch this shit.
He's like, yeah, brah. That's what's up. Starts pissing on Zod's dead body. Yeah, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah,
like, he wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that move is an interesting one, and it's something that.
So again, but that's what I'm saying is harkens back to there's gonna be a little darker.
Yeah,
but I think at the end of the day, like Superman realizes
he's not a bad person for doing it.
Yeah.
It's a moral dilemma. Like, that's the point. Like, you, the audience member, supposing to, like, feeling uncomfortable by what you've just seen. It's like, well, that's the point. It's like, this isn't supposed to be the Superman like you know and love. Like, this isn't, the George Reeves, 1950s serial Superman or the TV show. This isn't that. This is now Superman.
Right.
And I thought for what that was, bringing Superman into the present, mind, I thought it worked very well. It was people think it's dumb. I think it's really smart. I think 2/3 of this movie is setup. It's just thematics and emotional storytelling. There's a fight scene, here and there. And, there's an oil rig savior scene, or, Superman throwing a semi-truck through some trees, scene here and there. But, it's all character building. It's all origin story,
Exactly. And through that, we get a different Superman. But at the end of the day, it's not like this is such a far shot from what Superman is in the comics, for instance. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing is, I understand, because I'm definitely a vocal critic. When you stray too far from source material, you kind of wonder, what the hell even is this? Mm-hmm. But there was no point in time during this movie where I thought, this isn't Superman at all.
Right.
No, this is definitely still Superman. I would say I'd have a bigger problem with his portrayal in the next movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, which isn't even arguably a Superman movie, is it?
Right. Mm-hmm. Which could have to do with some of his depictions in that movie.
Right.
But again, in this, I think his depiction was fine. I think the action was fine. I think the cinematography was, overall, it was pretty fine.
Yeah.
I think,
the acting's great.
Yeah.
Everyone was great. I loved, Michael Shannon as Zod chewing up scenery. Hilarious. Feora's great.
She was creepy, man.
I like Henry Cavill as Superman. A lot of people don't. They think he's very wooden. I couldn't disagree more. I think his Superman, his Clark Kent, is the most human.
He was really
suits.
wooden when he screamed after.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real deadpan. He's snap neck. No, actually, he was screaming. He was
crying.
Not pleased.
Blubbering, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really well done. Russell Crowe, I love Jor-El.
Right.
It cracked me up when he was that GPS on that ship.
Yeah.
Go this way.
Yep. It's good stuff.
I love the movie, and I saw it 3 times in theaters. I will admit it.
3 times, man. That's more than I saw it.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's I got to show my dad. Now I got to show my brother.
Yeah.
I love it, man. It's still probably my favorite, not MCU, DCEU flick.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite DC movie.
Mm-hmm. Sure, maybe not closely followed, but followed by Wonder Woman.
Yeah, okay. I would say it's actually, I wouldn't say it's definitely my favorite, but Wonder Woman is relatively close.
Yeah, Wonder Woman is another discussion for another day, but that movie's dope.
Yeah, both of them are good, mm-hmm. And I think that's part of what we've been saying about a lot of these DC movies is it seems like the team up ones are the ones they have trouble, and the solo ones are good.
Yeah.
So you know what? In closing, I think that fight was fucking awesome. I don't give a shit what anyone says.
And I think Man of Steel is fucking awesome.
Exactly. And there you have it. We thought highly of a film that dared to have a pointless, almost Dragon Ball Z-esque fight scene at the end, where many buildings were smashed, many punches were thrown, and laser beams were even involved. How can you not enjoy that? So while you may want to grab your torches and pitchforks, we enjoyed Man of Steel. Okay, well, I mean, that was a bit of overkill, guys. But yeah, anyway, moving on, it's time for our game segment.
We got ourselves another round of Guess the Movie based on the obscure quote. Alex, would you like to begin?
Sure.
All right, your first quote is, "Aw, hell's bells, they even shot the dog."
Oh, I know what this is. Is this Enemy of the State?
You know what? It's not too far off. It is a drama-ish movie or action movie, sort of. No Country for Old Men. That's when they show up to the fucking drug deal scene and the dog's dead and the one deputy that's with Tommy Lee Jones is upset about it.
Yeah.
But you know what? Who wouldn't be?
Right.
All right.
Any sane person should be.
Right.
All right. So this one might be a little bit of a layup. Your quote is as follows. I said, talk to me, damn it, or else I'm going to throw you in the fire.
Ooh, Child's Play.
Yep. Self-explanatory. Man. She's very pissed that her son has been taken away.
She's got him in the air.
And then that's the moment. That's where all is revealed.
That's where the liar is revealed, so to speak.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's kind of an amazing scene, in my opinion.
I love it.
I'm a big fan, obviously.
Well, we'll see how that remake / reboot / M3 gan goes.
Talk, damn it, or I'll throw out your charger.
Oh, God. I'll shut off your Bluetooth capability.
Yeah. You fucking bitch. Shut off your Bluetooth. Fuck.
Oh, man. Anyway, your next one is... Oh, somebody step on a duck?
Is this Caddyshack?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Great
Rodney
fart.
Dangerfield.
Great fart scene. At a dinner party, no less.
Rodney Dangerfield.
That's so good.
You ever seen Back to School?
Oh, of course.
God,
Classic.
So many good movies that guy's been in.
Vintage RDJ?
Not only that, a different movie aside from Karate Kid with
Oh my
what's
God.
his name? William Zabka?
Yeah,
whatever
dude.
his name is.
Billy Zabka.
Yeah, Billy, yeah. Anyway, here's your next quote. Go blow your dad, you mullet-wearing asshole.
Oh, God, that sounds so familiar. Fuck. Oh, I know it's a line that killed me, too. Son of a bitch. All right, what... Oh, no, wait, no. I'm going to take a lifeline on this. What year?
Oh, shit, that's going to give it away. It is a recent one from 2017.
Oh, God. It's going to kill me.
Yeah.
It's not Lady Bird, is it?
No. The correct answer was actually It. It's a
right.
Richie Tozier.
That's right before the rock fight, right?
I believe so.
That's great.
It's the part. Yeah, he says it to what's his name? Bowers.
Yeah, Henry Bowers.
Right. All right. What's my next one?
All right, your next one is a little wistful one. How can you not get romantic about baseball?
Shit. I don't know. Is this Major League?
No, it's Moneyball. You remember that scene where they're looking over the footage of the guy who like hits a ball and like as he's running to first base he fucking biffs it and like the first baseman like stands him up to tell him that he just hit a home run and he didn't even know it.
No, I don't know.
It's a good movie though.
I mean, I've seen that only once, dude.
Oh fuck,
It's a great movie, but yeah, I've only seen it. I believe I've only seen it once.
It's worth another look.
Oh, for sure. Okay. Here's a relatively classic one. Sir, one more outburst and I will strangle you with my microphone wire. You understand me?
Oh fuck. It's not Nutty Professor, is it?
No, the correct answer was The Wedding Singer.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's the part where he's like losing his shit.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Towards the second half of that movie.
Yeah. It's right at the second act turning point, if you will.
He's losing his mind.
Yeah, that's right.
We pay all the benefits.
Yeah.
It's good shit, man.
All right, go on.
This one's a bit of a layup. Fuck you, Mr. Bitey.
Well, okay, I want to use my lifeline. What year?
2010.
What was it again?
Fuck you, Mr. Bitey.
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't remember Kick-Ass where he's trying to save the cat from off of the billboard?
No.
And the fucking cat jumps or like runs away and he fucking falls on his ass. Or right before he falls, he's like, fuck. And then the cat's name is Mr. Bitey, of course. He's like, fuck you, Mr. Bitey.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
It's good. A lot better than 2.
Yeah, 2 was, 2 sleeper douched on me. I was like, it was pretty good. And I'm like, you know what? After time I thought about it, I'm like, no, it really wasn't.
No, that Mother Russia fight's good, though.
Oh, no, there's good fights in it. It's just the story is just all over the place bad. Mm-hmm. Well, there's also the part where it's like, oh, your dad's dead.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
this movie got depressing.
Yeah, like, what? I don't know. It didn't work as well. The first one got depressing, too, but it did better.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the new one, whenever that comes out, will be good.
Oh, man, I don't know.
Possibly.
I'll have to find out. Well,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyway, your next quote is as follows. Is it just me, or does Do You Want to Build a Snowman from Frozen sound suspiciously like Papa Can You Hear Me from Yentl? Papa, can you hear me? Do you want to build a snowman? Fuck. And nobody fucking realizes it.
God damn it. That's a really, really fucking recent movie. Is it Deadpool 2?
Yes.
Oh, man. I was going to say, I'm like, I just heard this somewhere.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I was walking around a couple days ago and I was thinking about that and I started singing them both. I'm like, yeah, it is the same. I'm like, Now, what the hell is that from?
Oh, good shit.
All right.
Decent movie, too. Well, pretty damn good movie.
Yeah.
For the most part. All right, so this one. Look, you're my best friend, so don't take this the wrong way, but in 20 years, if you're still living here, coming over to my house, watching the Patriots games, working construction, I'll fucking kill you. That's not a threat. That's a fact. I'll fucking kill you.
Oh, God. I know this one. Damn it. I shouldn't have used my lifeline. Ooh. Is this The Departed?
Oh, you're so close. Obviously, right town. Good Will Hunting.
Oh.
That's when Ben Affleck's having his heart-to-heart on the construction site with good old Will Hunting.
Oh, well. Well, you know what? I think... Ah, damn it. You're probably going to get this one.
Well, there's still room to tie it up.
All right. What are we at?
Well, I still got a question left. If I get this wrong and you get the next one right, we're tied.
Oh, that's no good. You still have 2 left, though.
I do? Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Well, including this one.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to be a can't hack it panty waist who wears their mama's bra, raise your hand.
Is that Sandlot?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm like, I
yeah.
know I've heard that. Ah, fuck. Well,
I mean,
is that game? Technically?
pretty much.
Mathematically?
But yeah.
Fuck it. Let's keep doing it.
Yeah, let's see what we got.
All right. This one's a favorite of mine, and it's probably a layup. Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Shut up!
Is this... I don't know, dude.
Oh, man.
What the hell is this? Wait, hold on. Is this
I'll give you extra time.
Wedding Crashers?
No, it's fucking Batman Forever. Remember when the Riddler breaks into the Batcave?
Oh, intruder alert, shut up.
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. That movie is like, it's sleeper hitting me, man. We were just talking about it 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like, man, well, not on the record, but
Yes.
man, good stuff.
No, I know what you're talking about.
All right, hit me with your final shot.
Well, it's funny you say that.
Oh no.
Here's the next one. I can't believe I got shot. Isn't that fucked up?
Oh god, an adaptation.
Yeah.
Damn, I love that. That's not Charlie, Donald Kaufman, right?
Yeah.
As he lay dying.
It's one of
It's
my,
fucked up.
he's like laughing about it.
God damn it. That was one of those movies where like the ending of it pissed me off so much the first time, and then I got it. I was like, oh, he's trying to say, like that's what this whole fucking movie's about. That's the Charlie Kaufman spin.
Well, I was going to use that. I was either going to use this or the one where he just like says, if your movie has no conflict, or like,
For God's sakes, a mother gets beaten on the front steps of a church. Fucking, what's his name?
no, but then there's the other quote where he like meets him at the bar and he's like, if you don't wow him in the 3rd act.
Yeah. Oh, God, it's so fucking smart.
That's what I'm saying. So you got, let's see, you got Child's Play, you got
Sandlot.
Sandlot, Deadpool 2.
Adaptation.
Man, you got 4 out of 6.
Damn. What did I miss?
You missed, let's see, the It quote and Wedding Singer.
All right. Well, you got Caddyshack, and you got...
I think that was it.
That was it? I thought you got 2. Okay, so you missed Batman Forever, Good Will Hunting, Kick-Ass, Moneyball, and No Country for Old Men. Well, shit.
Yeah.
A couple of those I thought you'd get.
Well, looks like you done bested me this time. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so that does it for the 19th episode of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert. Make sure to comment in the comments section about comments or about stuff related to the show. Your choice.
Feel free to subscribe to us on YouTube, SoundCloud, or to give us a like over on our Facebook page.
So stay tuned for next time when we have a review of something, possibly.
We promise.
Maybe.